Hi guys, it's Saturday. Welcome back to the den. So it's been 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
I kind of lost count. It's been
Three
weeks. Yeah, it's been an interesting couple weeks. So we owe you guys a little bit of an explanation. If you've been keeping up with the news in Canada, at the end of May, right around the time that we posted our last video, there was actually the what we talked about in our last video, the discovery at the Kamloops Residential School, 215 children that were discovered, and just kind of not feeling like wanting to go and do any pride themed videos, not feeling very celebratory, to be completely honest and frank. Kind of almost slipped into a little bit of a depression, just dealing with the weight and the heaviness of everything. And it's been a tough couple weeks, but it's getting better. There was another discovery a couple days ago, 2 days ago,
in Saskatchewan, yeah.
and it was 751 unmarked graves. So it's not the same burial that it was like what they found in BC, but it was basically evidence of some serious crime that was committed. In the 60s, the school switched hands from being run by the Catholic Church to being run entirely federally, and at that time all of the headstones were removed. So I don't know whether, like, there's so many theories, so many ideas as to why, what could be the reason for it. We're not going to talk about that today. We just really wanted to focus on, like, how it's been impacting me, how it's been impacting Ken. So right now we have the Six Nations flag flying out front. We took down our Canadian flag because, again, it's kind of hard to want to celebrate and be prideful of a country that has caused so much damage. If you've been watching us for a while, I'm Haudenosaunee. I'm Iroquois Mohawk Turtle Clan. So my culture is a huge part of my identity. I've talked about it a lot on this channel, and my coming out was influenced by my culture, essentially. Like, it helped me to be okay with myself and to accept myself. On my mother's side of my family, I'm literally the third generation gay person in the family. Like, my grandmother was gay, my aunt's gay, I'm gay. So on that side of the family, it was not really a question whether or not it was going to be accepted. But it was also a matter of accepting myself. And with my culture, we have something called Two-Spirit, and that's essentially, we identify that we have both a male and a female spirit within ourselves, and we can relate and empathize from both sides of the gender spectrum equally. And in my culture, that was a very cherished and honored role. Anybody who was considered Two-Spirit, there was always somebody like medicine men, healers, and then, of course, there was, like, warriors, basket weavers, as there is within, like, the gay community. So it's kind of like the all-encompassing term, like you would use the word, I guess, queer for an all-encompassing term for the gay community, everybody under the rainbow. Similar to that. There are other indigenous cultures that have specific terms for each one of those. So it's definitely something big and important. So me wanting to honor the part that allowed me to be okay with my own sexuality, and it was hard to want to go and talk about all these exciteful and happy things that you usually do around Pride.
Yeah.
And it's not to say I'm not feeling prideful, because I'm proud of who I am every day. I just feel like it's not a time to celebrate. Me personally, I'm not judging anybody else who wants to celebrate. Now, if you choose to celebrate Canada Day, I may have a few opinions on that, given the state of the country right now, but that's an entirely different topic.
Well, and it's well within your right to stand up and say something in that scenario, because you have family that died because of residential schools.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, this whole experience with them finding children, unmarked graves and stuff, it's a very cathartic process. Like, it's painful and it sucks and it hurts, but at the same time, it's something that we've been talking about for generations and generations, and nobody's been listening. And now the evidence is right there. It's irrefutable. And now we're hoping that this will force change.
Yeah. You feel almost vindicated, validated.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. And it's part of it that's been difficult with me is I want to come on here because I have this platform. I want to come on here and I want to talk about it. And I want to share my experience, share my family's history. But there's also a part of me that feels kind of like I can't. And it's because everything's been thrust into the spotlight so much that there's... it feels like there's a backlash of, like, not hatred, and it's definitely racism, but not like it kind of feels like the Black Lives Matter movement that happened last year, how everybody was championing for it, and then there was other people who were intentionally saying malicious and nasty and racist, cruel
Trolls.
things.
You'll have trolls no matter what the situation is.
And then there's people within the community itself that were judging other people within the community, and it just became an entire nightmare. And as somebody who is light-skinned, I've kind of experienced that my entire life. There's been times in my life where I feel like I'm not entitled to my culture because the way I've been treated, because I don't look native. So there's a big fear that if I start speaking out about it a lot more, that I'm gonna have to deal with that backlash and that. And it just feeling vulnerable right now because of everything that's gone on. I'm not feeling like I want to put myself in that place where that could happen. So it's been a bit of a struggle. Last week, I actually sat down and I was getting ready to film, and I just couldn't do it. So
the week before was on me because I got yet another sinus infection. So.
Oh yeah, well that's that's been the other ongoing issue is our weather has been insane, up and down, so migraines, sinus headaches, and all of that fun stuff that comes with the change of the season. The 21st was Indigenous Peoples Day. As we mentioned in the last video, June is Pride Month as well as Indigenous History Month.
Well, in Canada, it's
in Canada, National Indigenous History Month. So there's been a nice push on that, but it's just been hard to talk about some of the stuff.
And for as much as I want to speak on these issues, they're not mine to speak about. I may cover things and voice things that I've heard from other Native people, but this issue is not mine to raise up and speak about. So that's why I've been very quiet during this session, because his voice, an Indigenous person's voice, needs to be heard about this issue. It's not about me. It's not about what white people think about Native issues. It's about the Indigenous community, about what they've been saying for years. I'll stop now, but it just... all I can do in this scenario is support my husband and help him emotionally, and that's what I've been doing for the last few weeks ever since all this went down.
And he's been doing a damn good job of it, for the record, for what it's worth.
Well,
It's been incredibly helpful for me, because
try. I mean, you're my husband and I love you, so...
I love you too.
Prepare for our one thumbs down, because we kissed and said we love each other.
Yeah.
How dare we?
Yeah, so we've been, just dealing with that, and when not dealing with that, trying to do a little bit of work on my garden and stuff. I got some flowers and gardening and stuff to try and keep myself distracted, and so I'm hoping to compile some of that video and pictures and stuff and do a little video, and because it didn't work out so well last year, so hopefully this year will be a little bit better.
He's gonna build a flower box, so hopefully we'll have that ready so that we can show off some of the stuff that he's got.
Yeah.
You know, with the $1,000 lumber that is out there at the stores now. We're gonna build some flower boxes.
Well, at least it's starting to go down in price.
Yeah.
There's that. So, we're probably not going to end up doing any of those pride-themed videos like we had initially talked about. Like, I'd done a bunch of research, and I had even started working on some of the graphics and stuff for it, and it just kind of fell to the wayside, and being so late in the month, it just feels like a futile effort when there's so many other videos out there basically talking about the same thing. So, if there's any queer icons, you can definitely find out that information on YouTube. It feels like I'm phoning it in right now, but
you're doing what your mental health is allowing you to do.
Yeah.
And that's valid, and it's fine.
Yeah. We do have a pride flag on our front lawn, for what that's worth.
Yeah.
It's one of those lawn stake ones, so we've got that at least.
But we're just kind of existing for the moment until we're able to kind of get our bearings and move forward.
Yeah,
we're trying to find a way forward. We'll put it that way. We're not just existing. We're trying to find a way forward, and it's been tricky and emotionally draining. And
like I've had conversations with my brother about it, which have been very helpful. One of the things that he said that was incredibly helpful was that don't feel like you shouldn't celebrate because of this. You should celebrate because of this, and I should be celebrating for all of those Two-Spirit boys and girls that
are no longer with us, have gone back to Creator. One of the favorite ways that I've ever heard this phrased those children who have joined the ancestors. I know this was kind of a downer of a video, but it needed to be talked about, and we needed to talk about it. He especially needed to get this out and let everybody know where he's been and what's been going on. And it's not that we've been avoiding the channel, we just haven't had the capacity to be able to be productive and to move forward as can be. As you can see from the last video we posted to this video, it's been the same topic, and it's been sitting heavy in our hearts.
Yeah. So, forgive us if we have been a little absent.
Yeah.
like Ken says, but
I mean, we'll be back up and running and putting out more upbeat content in the near future. It's just, this needed to happen. It's cathartic for you. It's cathartic for me, but it, more than anything, we needed to talk about it.
yeah, for sure.
So I think that's probably going to be it for us this week. Don't forget to tune in later this week for Derek, Greg, and Steve on Monday, and Ed on Wednesday, as well as they will be streaming live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Men of the Den, and twitch.tv/EdCulp. And on that note, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel as well. Give us a like over on Facebook, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.